category did dates fall into? Like November 5th.
Ah, what category do dates uh, come into? Like, as you say, November 5th. Now, this is a great question. And one of the things I love about this question is that it's a fresh question to me. I'll have to admit, in all of the time that I've been a writer and studied grammar, I never thought to ask it, which shows that you have a mind which is fresh. You have a mind which is seeing things freshly. And that offers me a gift. That offers me the gift of, oh, the opportunity to have a new thought. What part of speech is a date? So let's think about this together. Let's discover the answer together. One of the mistakes that people make uh, uh, in certain forms of education, which I think are quite different from the form that you are engaged in, is that somebody has a question and they ask somebody else and they get the answer, and that's a wonderful part of things. But there's also a way of looking at learning. There's also a way of looking at education in which we come together and we have a question and we come together to discover the answer together. So let's discover the answer together. Um, can you give me a sentence in which we use November 5th?
Right? November 5th was my birthday.
November 5th was my birthday. Was it really your birthday?
No, no.
Ah, it really is my father's birthday, which is why I ask. So you must have intuited that my father was born on November 5th. So let's look at this sentence. November 5th was my birthday. What, uh, what is the subject of that sentence?
November 5th.
November 5th. November 5th is the subject of the sentence, November 5th was my birthday. And what part of speech is a subject? A noun. Perfect. So watch. You've taken your own understanding to discover that November 5th, the date, in this particular sentence is functioning as a noun and is also functioning as the subject of a sentence. Now, can you give me another sentence with November 5th in it that is where November 5th is in a different part of the sentence? Let's see if so we have part of our answer to the question. November 5th can be, or numbers or dates I should say more generally, can be nouns. Let's see if they can be anything else. Can you or anyone else give me another example?
It says November 5th is my birthday. My birthday is November 5th. It's the end of the
Ah, beautiful. We could say my birthday is November 5th. Now, what is the subject of that sentence?
birthday.
My birthday. So my birthday is the subject of the sentence. What is the verb in that sentence?
Is.
Is. Great. So November 5th is. And what is November 5th in that sentence? Does anyone happen to know the term for that part of the sentence?
Noun? Is it the noun?
It may or may not be a noun, but I'll back up and say, does anyone know what kind of verb is? Is. Now you may or may not have covered this, so there's no pressure here. Anyone know?
Amanda? Helping her?
Pardon?
Helping?
A helping verb? Ah, that's a wonderful answer because is often a helping verb. Beautiful. In this case, is what we could call a linking verb or a copula verb. Copula is the term that Marie uses, and it just joins two parts, and it joins the subject and what's called the complement. So, for instance, in this sentence, my birthday is November 5th. November 5th is the complement of the subject, my birthday. And complements, like subjects, are nouns. So here we've moved November 5th to another part of the sentence and discovered it to be a noun. In this case, a noun serving as the complement of the sentence. Wonderful. So now we can feel fairly certain that dates, such as November 5th, can be nouns, and they can be nouns in various parts of a sentence. Now, let me give you another example where I'm going to use November 5th as in a different way and see if you can identify what part of speech it is. Suppose that on November 5th, the president gave an important speech about ecology. And this speech is being written about in a newspaper. And the writer of the newspaper article says, in the November 5th speech by the president, he said X, Y, and Z. He said some things. In this phrase, in the November 5th speech, what part of speech is November 5th?
It's still a noun because November 5th speech is the noun. So it's still a noun.
Lovely. So you've identified that speech is a noun and that November 5th speech is referring to a particular thing. Excellent. Now, if speech is a noun and November 5th speech is a specific noun, might there be at a lower or a more detailed level another way of thinking about November 5th? Adjective. Brilliant. In this case, November 5th is describing the speech. It's telling us what specific speech we're talking about. The November 5th speech is different from the November 6th speech, is different from the loud speech, is different from the soft speech, is different from the amazing speech, is different from the boring speech. In all of these cases, I've used an adjective to further describe or further modify, that's the sort of fancy grammatical term, the word speech. So now we've discovered that in that particular usage, November 5th can also serve as an adjective. And to be honest, there may be other places in which it can be used in other ways. But as I was thinking about this question, those seem to be two of the main ways of using a date. So I thank you for that exciting question, which allowed us to go on a little exploration together and to discover more about words together. Brilliant.